your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like. It's your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like.
Thank you. Thank you. Creator of the universe, God the good loves you, Capricorn. October is the month of the angelic frequencies of the gemstone Opal. Your birthstone is Garnet, Capricorn, so what we need to do is see how these two gemstones resonate with each other. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to learn how to contact me, please visit my website at www.readingsbyrosemary.com, where we provide you with all the information necessary on how you can obtain one of our spiritual consultations, psychic astrology, Rosicrucian Kabbalah, as well as classes and upcoming seminars. October's gemstone of Opal has the light emanations of the astrology archangel Zuriel, and your zodiac sign gemstone of Garnet has the properties of light bestowed by the archangel Hanael. Now, you can utilize a rosary, is a Garnet rosary, and then also a rosary with Opal. So you can utilize any kind of metal that associates with the angel you're trying to invoke, or any kind of stone that associates with what you're trying to invoke, but you have to pay attention to what's going on with the day of the week and the planetary and astrological associations for astrology magic, and astrology angel magic, which we teach, because it's like saying if you go to the store, if it's raining, you want to carry an umbrella. Of course it matters, the conditions. The astrology is the conditions. And of course, the strength of the conditions, like if you go out in a hurricane, it's going to be different than if you go out on a day that there's very little wind. So this astrology is a condition. That doesn't mean that God isn't in charge. Of course God's in charge. But it's still the condition. And God will use everything to work for good for those who love God and serve His purpose. So you just have to pay attention. Okay, now, regarding the angelic information, stay right here, because we're going to give you the gemstone angelic information particular to your ruling planet of Saturn, Capricorn. Also, amethyst is very important. Amethyst is a very important for Saturn. For Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Okay? And you are the nighttime abode of Saturn, where Aquarius is the daytime abode of the planet Saturn. Okay? Now the gemstone of Garnet and the zodiac angel Hanael associate with Capricorn. So again, the garnet can be used for during this Capricorn association, because you're Capricorn, so Garnet, and then Opal is going to be for the time that you are going to be utilizing it during the 7th house attribute, when it's associated in October with Libra. Okay? Because that's the time. Now the blue sapphire and amethyst, and you can also use lapis lazuli. These are the precious stones that you use to align oneself with the energies of the planetary angel Cassiel, who is assigned to the planet Saturn in Kabbalah. Okay? Planet Saturn in Kabbalah. Saturn, Binah, and it's associated with the Blessed Virgin Mary. Saturn is associated with the Blessed Virgin Mary. It's also associated with the goddess Ma'at in the Egyptian system. Now, this is a theory that I've been putting out for a while now. It's my contention that what is the difference between Egyptian magic or Egyptian theory, the whole spiritual system, and Christianity? Christianity, a lot of Christian Rosencrantz, it comes from all of that Rosicrucian style. Rosicrucian Kabbalah, but basically, in Egypt, it was all about how the Pharaoh would ascend and become a god and ascend to the stars. And Christianity is simply that each one of us have the ability to be a pharaoh, to not just only the pharaoh, but all of us. It's about the pineal gland being activated. That's my contention. Now, regarding back to the transmission from your zodiac angel Hanael, the planetary archangel Zadkiel is also associated with Saturn, with cold, albeit kind of various angelic names, applying attenuated levels of frequencies corresponding to this Lord of the Ringed planet, generating substantial, though restrictive, levels of bestowal through law, adulation, and acquired possessions, as well as property. So be very mindful of your own intentions and your own potency when utilizing these powerful gemstones in unison with each other. Now, the planetary angel of Saturn, again, Cassiel, who is the speed of God, since Saturn was seen in the Chaldean order of the planets in their system of astrology as being the planet with the greatest speed when considered from the Earth. Now, the archangel Cassiel is known to be assigned by God to watch over creation without interfering. He is said to be a tearful and melancholy angel who spends eternity in solitude, who is present upon the death of kings. Now, Saturn is known as God the Lawgiver, found in Genesis chapter 2, verse 16 to 17. Now, Bible I like to use a lot is this one right here. It's the Holy Bible from the ancient Eastern text. George M. Lance's translation from the Aramaic of the Peshitta. Again, this is a great Bible to use. It's very accurate, the translation. Very, very accurate. Now, regarding this Genesis 2, 16 to 17, in Dewey Rheims translation, we read, "And he commanded him, saying, Of every tree of paradise thou shalt eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat, for in what day soever thou shalt eat of it, thou shalt die the death." Now, your earth guardian archangel Uriel speaks to you from your Capricorn astrology archangel Hanael. So remember, the sun is transiting through the 7th house, the natural 7th house of Libra associations in October. Archangel Michael represents the sun. So Archangel Michael is going to be associated in there as well. Okay? Okay, now Uriel is the earth angel who resides over all the earth signs, of which you are cardinal earth. You are fire of earth. And that would have an Enochian correspondence. And your earth guardian archangel Uriel, again, he helps your zodiac archangel of Capricorn, your astrology archangel Hanael. So this is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Capricorn zodiac angel Hanael. Again, that's fire of earth, who resides over the goat's cardinal earth nature, and these are his messages for you in the areas of love, money, and health. Remember that your guardian angel over the earth signs, who is Uriel, speaks to you, and he is the northern, when you're dealing with earth coordinates, not celestial coordinates where earth is found in the south, in the celestial coordinates, but on the earth plane, it is in the north, where Archangel Uriel resides. Archangel Uriel. And you can get a lot of information about Kabbalah from the Zohar and the Sefer Yetzirah. And there's also other books. We have a lot of books on Kabbalah. This is Kabbalah, Tradition of Hidden Knowledge. This is by Zev ben Shimon Halevi. This is a great book. This book has a lot of very complicated information and very beautiful pictures, and it has all kinds of Kabbalistic array information. Like originally it was in 10 concentric circles, like the continent of Atlantis. It's my contention also that I've had a past lifetime in Atlantis where I was a pre-scientist. That is my recollection when I was very involved in genetics and genetic engineering. And being a a pre-scientist who did a lot of genetic engineering. That's my memory and my contention. That's what I postulate and what I know is true from the memories that I've had. Now, regarding Hanael's love, rapture, and romance transmission, remember, help of the great earth angel Uriel, the indigo, angelic light frequencies, which you want to use indigo stones for. These frequencies of Hanael combined with heartening, restorative remedies, and we've made our own remedies here. We've used made a tincture used out of organic teas, and we've soaked gemstones in the sun, and we've used purified water. This is just for our own consumption, and it's very beautiful smell that we use. It's just very beautiful. We're going to use these remedies, and they're going to sparkle forth towards plush, authentically compassionate, inner and outer medicinal, very health-giving elixirs, and will emanate a gemstone beam of light that's very enchanting to the ogle of the gemstone of opal, thrilling your passionate desires through charming encouragement given forth from October's very Venusian angelic realms. In the journey of this birthstone's plentiful as well as very uplifting and gleaming qualities. Remember, you can use also rosaries made of opal for that particular quality. Now, and you want to look at what the metal is also, because again, like tin would be used for Jupiter for chesed, for healing and health and wealth, and you'd use something that has like a coral or red coral for Mars, or you want to use in Gebura, you want to use like also for Mars, iron is a metal, and copper for rose quartz, and copper for Venusian, and for Hode you want to use orange color or some kind of more brassy attribute. Now, and for the moon, obviously, it's silver. Silver is the metal that you're going to want to use, and moonstone for making rosaries. Moonstone for the and praying on that would just be powerful, powerful, powerful magic, indeed. Okay, now regarding the opal that you're using, it's going to kind of thrill the desires, and it's going to kind of bring you a lot of very, very gleaming, precious qualities. Now, magical energies of a very mysterious permutations, what you're going to go for, and the zodiac angel Zuriel, and that natural 7th house attributes, in addition to your own Capricorn energies, is going to bestow to you an alluring nature, glowing with anticipation towards seeing new dreams coming to realization, as well as enduring in more opportune portents and in the remote, less traveled paths ahead. Remember, you want to get a Zohar. There's 23 volumes. You can contact the Kabbalah Center or Kabbalah Info regarding Zohars and books on Kabbalah. Very important. Now, you're going to want to have an anticipation when you're doing magic towards seeing new dreams come to realization, as well as a very enduring quality of the things you want to sustain, and more, you want to stay on the path. And that's the chant of the Bennu bird. This is Isis, and she's associated with the Bennu bird, Isis, the goddess Isis, associated with Mother Mary, and again, stay on the path. If you want to live, is the chant of the Bennu bird. You got to follow what it says. Don't break the laws, the Levitical laws. Don't break the laws. You've been forgiven, now don't break the laws again. Stay on the path. Now, incredible earnings are going to be helpful from your good deeds, and that's the source of the traditional zodiac sign of Libra, which is in October, for the point of captivating and awe-inspiring ways to really perk up your relationships for heightened enlightenment being your cause of ascension for humanity. It now includes those who live above the firmament as well as those who live below the firmament. Now watch this. In Genesis 1:7 we read in the Webster Bible translation, "And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so." And it was so. Okay, now expect an increasing commitment and a sense of duty sparkling forth from a very peculiar hue of light that illuminates and beckons the spirit with great appetite for tonics, healing to both spirit and matter, obtained from a gem, which is going to shine. Attractive yet curative abilities for the owner of such a gemstone that you can, again, soak your herbs with the gemstone. That's just for your own personal consumption, although there are those on the market that you can get. Now, that's through lure of Venusian quality affected vortex centers of the throat chakra, heart chakra, and solar plexus chakra attributes, thus producing bountiful amounts of satisfaction through healing periods during knowledge and conversation of one's holy guardian angel, yielding achievement of upper planes of existence allowed through use of higher sensory organs and smaller, though more ascended organelles during several ultradimensional and interdimensional communications made convincing through complementary associations. That's within and that is within obscure references to oft-thought uncoupled Venusian lung and respiratory factors beholding to the humor of phlegm. There are sanguine humors as well. Now, follow this, quote, its receptacle is the lungs and is governed by Venus. Some say by the moon. Perhaps it may be governed by them both. It is cold and moist in quality. This is from Culpeper's Complete Herbal. That's in the year 1643 that was printed. Culpeper's Complete Herbal on page 300. Very important. And we make these, again, for our own, these elixirs for our own use. Although, again, there are some gem tinctures and other herbal tinctures out there and homeopathic remedies. Check with your homeopathic physician, your acupuncturist, or your allopathic physician. A lot of allopathic physicians are doing very well with really being very holistic in their style, which we love the way doctors are thinking these days. Now, nevertheless, while continuing with Hanael's and Uriel's transmission, angelic transmission for you, it is the kidneys that Venus rules over and lumbar portions of the spine. The throat chakra, thyroid gland attributes, as well as the high heart, thymus gland, or upper solar plexus chakra, adrenal gland, and lower solar plexus, pancreas, functions and awareness. Now, willpower through throat chakra, self-determination, vim and vigor through intelligence and upper and lower solar plexus qualities of ego health activates the Sephiroth of mercurial potency within Hod, Tiferet, and the invisible Sephiroth of Da'at, thus explaining how to obtain and identify one's lunar power of Yesod for the accomplishment of activating Venusian beauty and desire Netzach, calling upon one's passion found in martial Gebura, which will then offer sources of Sephirotic magical currents of charm for love magic, which is effective when influenced through Venusian qualities of desire and emotive expressions of love in heartfelt ways, as well as sexuality of fruitful production of progeny found in goddesses or gods of beauty cults, such as cosmetic companies, and fertility cults, such as modern medicinal or medical fertility clinics, as well as seventh house attributes of law and commitment, being those who both heal and poison, such as therapeutic or toxic dosages of medicines corresponding to the Sephir of Netzach, named classically as Greek goddess Aphrodite, Roman goddess Venus, Egyptian goddess Bastet, or planetary archangel Anael, invoke or invoke into oneself, or invoke into powerful magical currents. Then these are, going to be included in performance of ritual ceremonial magic. Okay, so those are the energies that you're going to be invoking into yourself or invoking into magical circles. Okay, now, another very important book is entitled The Occult Christ, Angelic Mysteries, Seasonal Rituals, and the Divine Feminine by author Ted Andrews. Now, this book also states that Jude, the Apostle Jude Thaddeus, represents, quote, all who live life courageously and the cosmic principle or construction through courage associated with the degree of apprenticeship. Okay, and those are paraphrased quotes. Unquote. So along with James the Just, Simon and Judas Iscariot, again, that's a paraphrase. And that's a great book, The Occult Christ by Ted Andrews. Now, another important book for Enochian magic is The Angel's Message to Humanity, Ascension to Divine Union, Powerful Enochian Magic by Gerald Schuler, Ph.D., and Betty Schuler, Ph.D. This is the Schulers, they're very important in the magical community, and we have a lot of their books. Look at this beautiful, just gorgeous, this is a Llewellyn publication, gorgeous way this is presented, a beautiful artwork on the front there. Now, the Enochian Magic, a practical manual, a book we just can't live without. We've got several copies of this, and we've used this quite a lot. A practical manual in our order when we did Enochian Magic and Angelic Language Revealed, Gerald and Betty Schuler. And we've been doing Goetic Magic lately, but we're getting back into Enochian now. Llewellyn's High Magic series, again Llewellyn. This is a Sphinx with the using the eagle angelic frequencies, and you can see the Enochian tablet there. Also an advanced guide to Enochian magic. This is an advanced book with the goddess, sort of a feline Bastet sort of Enochian Sphinx there. Gerald J. Schuler, a complete manual of angelic magic. This is a very important book, Enochian Magic, an advanced guide to Enochian magic. This is another Llewellyn publication, and it incorporates all the information necessary on how to do advanced Enochian. It has a lot of very advanced information. Okay, so now regarding the order, our order we're on the Imperatrix is called the Hermetic Order of the Alchemical Flame, which I started in the 90s because we did a lot of physical alchemy using, we made elixirs plus monoatomics, ormus, plus the dew method, the wet method, morning dew method, plus we did a lot of Enochian magic. Now, again, we're doing Goetic magic. We're going to be getting lesser and greater keel of Solomon, but we're also doing Enochian. Now, Hanael's money and wealth transmission up next for you. Love of Creator God. Now, remember, if you're going to be dealing with the alchemical Mercury, when you're dealing with mercurial aspects, if you're dealing with air signs, you're going to, and the Archangel Raphael. This is the chemical Mercury. You have Luna, Sol, Moon, Sun, and the cross of corrosion. You see from here down, it creates Venus. From here up, creates Mars, and it's alchemical Mercury, the entire structure together. So that's the kind of energy you're going to be invoking when you invoke alchemical Mercury, having to do with Hod, when you're asking for intelligence. Now you're going to be bringing kind of the energy of Zeus throwing his lightning bolt, kind of bouncing off the pillars of Yakim and Boaz, because the vessel can't quite contain it. So it doesn't come straight down in the beginning. So people feel like they're bouncing off the walls and they get too much of a magical current in the beginning. So what you want to do is understand that you've got to create that vessel that isn't going to be shattered, because when the vessel was shattered originally, we're now being instructed tikkun olam, to get the pieces back together. We have to learn how to bestow by getting the pieces back together. It's tikkun olam. Okay? So now, regarding love of Creator God and a constant prayer through desire for what God offers continually through holy guardian angel messages, as well as a very luxurious comprehension of the tree of life and the tree of the sublime knowledge of good and evil, is the commandment of the demigods when the sun unites forces with Venus while transiting through planetary angel Anael's Venusian angelic realm, as well as zodiac angel Zuriel's dwelling, filling the heart with compassionate yearnings. Fixer-upper homes or turnkey businesses give ample and very good amounts of fortune, and it's going to become available to you during this time. Any economic position from which one may want to gain profit during this time, October is a great month for that. Now, banking institutions and businesses increase business through practices which help their customers through attending to desires of those with whom they do business, tending to financial law and commitment. To each investor, when soul transits through natural seventh house frequencies, or planetary archangel of Venus Anael and zodiac angel of Libra Zuriel oversee activity bringing desire for better circumstances and ascension, fulfilling dreams or longings through sacred knowledge of the workings of God's great universe. Because again, astrology is the condition but God is the creator God of that. It's like knowing how God's clock works, and even so well that you can build your own. Now is the time, this is the time for paying strict attention to one's own laws, that you set yourself, that your soul set in place for you from before the creation of the universe, as well as strengthening of your own commitment to your own priority relationships, your own priority goals, and your achievements that you're trying to get to. And managerial professions are going to be what is very much in demand during October. This, as well as any avocation dealing with legal or organizational knowledge, and that's going to prove quite valuable during natural 7th house considerations of the natural zodiac house of Libra, the 7th house of Libra, the scales, with enchanting Venusian allure, causing one capability towards really invoking into the circle or invoking into yourself great outcomes from treasure chests of angelic realms, keeping everyone well taken care of, granting a great peace of mind, a serenity, and a tranquility, but you can still be effective. Now, connecting to one's own personal money sprite in the Kabbalistic Sephiroth of Jupiter and Chesed and Venusian Netzach, which are important Sephiroth for income creation and money magic techniques, being abundant sources of money from where economic vitality sustained through great organizational skills and sticking to one's own rules is achieved. Now, everyone's infamous favorite 1% resides in the world of Messiah, having the throne of Malka, the bride of the king, being his kingdom in Malkuth, begotten from excellent craftsmanship of beings inhabiting the upper 99%. That really is where the energy comes from, of reality, given that good opportunities gotten through well-made magical talismans and amulets made with loving hands. Remember that you can get a lot of energy in these rosaries that are well made, that with all the proper metal and the proper type of stone that you're trying to use, what you're shooting for, and these are made again with loving hands, and they're able to contact friendly and goodly beings brought to earth through etheric plane understandings resulting from focus on earthly talents, dealing with friendly magical elementals upon which all magicians and adepts must rely. Now, don't let people tell you that if you invoke a being using a Hebrew word, or that if you use astrology using Hebrew words, that for some reason that makes it okay. But if you use a Latin word, oh, it's evil. They're just trying to take their language and force you to use it. But if it's not congruent with your DNA, it won't work for you. See, if they use their language and you don't use yours, so they're trying to force any kind of language on you. So they're trying to force any kind of language, being ancient or modern. If they're trying to force a language on you that is not congruent with your DNA, the magic won't work for you. So if you want to be powerful, use a magic that works with your own DNA. And if you're of mixed blood, then you're going to have to use both. Okay, now wizards and wizardresses often invoke into their being or invoke into fashion sacred spaces or magical circles the energies of the Sephira of Binah or Saturnine influences, angels, and divine names, or assigning Kabbalah to characteristics such as hermetically sealing great power, which when released then manifests wondrous modes of increasing opportunities for healing one's finances or keeping already gotten finances in tip-top condition. Attention to details of law, sustained commitment to God, family, and friends wins at the end of the day, especially when astrological progressions call for combining blue sapphire or amethyst, including garnet, amethyst, garnet, and opal, combining with opal, using astrology archangelic forces known to Hanael and Zuriel, which will really lure in customers and clients through mystery of scent and sight and sound. It's also going to be a very alluring magical circle you can create, alluring to the senses, okay? You want to really bring that magnetic energy in. Now, powerful magnetism, that's the name of the game in the theaters of corporate law. international law, business and tax law, and that will sustain a great reward, yet it's going to extract an often greater price from those who seek to control others. Our magical order, of which again I'm the imperatrix of, the Hermetic order of the alchemical flame, because we're really into alchemy, quote, we like to say, control yourself lest others control you, unquote. If you're a member of our order, you want to know how to have a password to our order. Our hint will be, if you want to utilize our sanctuaries, there's something that we had different. And it has to do with the born list ritual. And if you know what that has to do with, then you can gain access to one of our sanctuaries of Uziel and Kamael. That's your hint. Okay, now watch this. Let's look at Romans 13:8. The Webster Bible translation, we read, "Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law." The throat chakra and the heart and solar plexus chakras are invigorated and absorbed in lustrous gentle opal light and harmonized during this time, chiefly when good economic health inspires delicious environments and really pioneering spirits through October's gemstone, bestowing a frequency of comfort and an ample portion of monetary opportunities through which one may prosper. Now, regarding Haniel's health and fitness transmission, where we're going to be looking at some brain structures associated with the chakras. This is associated with the 7 churches in Asia Minor, associated with the 7 seals in the Book of Revelation, associated with the 7 days of the week, the 7 archangels, and there's 7 associations, because it's talking about the 7 associations underneath the supernals. Okay? Now, regarding the health disciplines, they're going to prove very fruitful. Again, this is Haniel's health and fitness, because of increased zest for life, and that's from Venusian aspects unleashed during October's hosting of Sol. Remember, Sol is associated with the Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, or Michael, and the contentment is your trophy, knowing and using ancient sciences such as alchemy, along with magical gemstone array strategies made with a very loving kindness in the hands of really enticingly rich artisans. Now, while the sun transits through natural 7th house attributes of law and commitment during October, is going to bring a great amount of help and compassion that's going to be given. And you're going to find that things are easily resolved during this kind of distinctive confluence array of planets that is associated with various portions of brain structures and various associations with planets and moons and stars, and that's due to a balancing of throat, heart, and solar plexus chakras. Now, one way you can begin to learn about this is to get this book called Alchemical Sexual Mysteries of the East and West, the Tao and the Tree of Life. It's mostly just about meridians and your and your chakras and how to bring energy in. It's how to use a person's own creative energies, to circulate it through the body with meditation, through the various meridians and that kind of thing. It's by it's again the Tao and the Tree of Life. This is a really good book, and it's by Eric Stephen Yudlove and forward by Mantak Chia. If you know anything, if you've studied energetics at all, you know who Mantak Chia is. And this is a Llewellyn publication. This is a great book, a very important book for if you're going to use various energies. Another very important book if you're a Christian psychic or Christian astrologer, Christian witches, those kind of people, anything, the occult Christ, anything having to do with Rosicrucian or style of magic. It's the Occult Christ, Angelic Mysteries, Seasonal Rituals, the Divine Feminine. We mentioned it earlier. It's very Rosicrucian in orientation. This is by Ted Andrews, and it's a Llewellyn publication. Another book that's very good with understanding various types of using various forms of magic, especially using metals and writing on metals. I use this book a lot. It's called Hermetic Magic, the Postmodern Magical Papyrus of Abaris, edited and introduced by Stephen Edward Flowers, Ph.D. So he edited it and introduces it and gives you a wonderful this is a great book. Again, Hermetic Magic, the Postmodern Magical Papyrus of Abaris. Really, really good book. It's got kind of a parchment look on the front here. This is just great. Got to get that book. Okay, now regarding your fifth chakra, your throat chakra, it's the same as getting into the energies of getting up into higher dimensions and magical doors, opening the doors in Da'ath, involving the thyroid gland, through expression of personal resolve, through determined, powerful tone, with added equanimity of Christ's humanity and submission to Father, God, Creator. Now the Ruach, or Holy Spirit-filled speech, is now going to be sort of very healed, and that's how healing is achieved. And fourth, or heart chakra, secreting healthful hormones such as thymosin from thymus gland structures gives immune system good function. Got to always make sure your immune system is strong. It's very imperative for healing. Now, improvement in health through fortification of one's own immune system is accomplished through frequent and extended practice of Tibetan rites. We've mentioned it before, we'll mention it again. A great book entitled Ancient Secret of the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. And this important work has 2 volumes and is worth mentioning again and again and again. And this work describes regaining youth and health and youth by using the ancient Tibetan system of yoga called the 6 Tibetan rites, of which only 5 are well known. This is due to an extreme austerity necessary in keeping a heretofore veiled potent 6th rite discipline esoteric and veiled. Now, such practices keep one's energetic meridian system in sublime, healthful state, thus rejuvenating health. Upper and lower solar plexus ductless glands it's going to include the adrenals and the pancreas, which are also strengthened and revitalized using Tibetan yoga rites. All are stimulated when soul transits natural 7th house frequencies. Where throat chakra enlivens one sephirotic vortex center of Da'ath or knowledge, high heart as well as upper and lower solar plexus chakra activation occurs during this progression that involves the Sapphire of Tiferet, which encompasses the soul of the heart and the ego of the solar plexus chakras. Now, fundamental awareness of one's true will leads to good adherence to biological law, giving rise to well-organized and accurate cellular task functioning towards vital health. A wonderful, comforting, balancing, and very therapeutic focus can occur during October, and it often does. And that's the 7th house, again, with the long commitment, when one impresses one's personal morphogenic field with an objective towards healing, brought into reality through holding firmly to universal laws. Now follow this in 1 Corinthians 6:19-20 of the New Heart English Bible. We read, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which you have from God? You are not your own, for you are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body." You got to stay healthy. Take care of your temple. Harmonized routines is an important attribute during October in the I Ching method of healing. Remember, you want to get the Tao and the Tree of Life if you want to get into energetic healing. The portion of the year is significant for healing of the organs of the throat, chest, and the lumbar spine, the kidneys, as well as the ductless glands already mentioned, while cleansing, soothing, and harmonizing natural 7th house qualities, being that October's zodiac sign of Libra's ruling planet, Venus, which is concerned with Archangel Anael, blessing 10 Kabbalistic Sephirotic dimensions, plus bringing new awareness of 7th Sapphire of Netzach function, harnessing dimensions of desire, comfort, healing remedies, and curative formulations. Again, we've made our own by using gemstones and also various organic herbal preparations and purified water, as well as you want to, again, don't use too much of any one good thing. You gotta make sure you're getting proper dosages. You can't just willy-nilly. You have to know what you're doing. And what you want to do is make sure that you're not overindulging, because even things that are good for you can become toxic, and they can become toxic if one's portion of one's ego is too much involved, and that causes people to overindulge. Now, incorporation of the entire range of energetic frequencies of blue sapphire or amethyst for Saturn, including garnet for Capricorn, and again opal for Libra. That kind of October Libra associations is what you have to use when you're bringing in the 7th house activations for Capricorn. Okay, so that's very important for incorporation of the various chakras, and it's going to be able to keep your various sephira, which are portions of the body similar to the chakras, enlivened. Okay, now regarding the 7th house law and commitment disciplines, that's going to increase during October, and it's going to cause you to become even more able to reach your desires of being alluring to others, because your discipline will make you do things which will make you more alluring, because people, when they see that someone's disciplined, it's attractive. Now, people are going to be also pulled in by your very mysterious behavior and your peekaboo nature during this astrological transit, bringing a lighthearted fun and fresh opportunities and lucky environments, as well as conjured up treasures of love magic, as well as your appetite for ritual ceremonial formula, when natural 7th house attributes of law and commitment is accentuated using October's gemstone, as well as those corresponding to the planet Venus. Now, your throat and your heart and your solar plexus chakras are calculated to be of vast import throughout natural 7th house solar transits for the function of establishing rich treasures in heaven, leading to establishment of Christ's kingdom here on earth, transfiguring our earthly bodies into our glorified bodies in Christ Jesus, our Lord. Christ demonstrated his body of light in the Gospel of Matthew 17:2. In the Webster Bible translation we read, "And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light." Astrocartographic arrangements currently, as well as at birth, must be revealed if a holistic style of unveiling one's inner nature is truly desired. A disclaimer is in order here. High magic should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Remember to chant your divine tone of I use, or try at the higher aspect of simply meditating on the quality of utilizing and be wise, be well, be all you are meant to be, Capricorn. Information found in this document is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by a Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again.